Alright, well, hi everyone, welcome to the Stefan Talk Show. So today I'm here with another video here talking about computer tips and things like that. So, what I have for you today. Again, this will be, let's see if we make it a series, but this will be kind of list one of some must-have computer programs that you need. And again, these come in different varieties. Some are meant for monitoring performance, other temps, and other things are just, again, some quality life programs to help you out. So with that said, let's kind of make this short and simple and get to it. So let's get started. Alright, so as we said, again, we're going to look at some must-have programs. So let's just kind of dive in here. So as you can see here, we're right here on the screen. And we're going to look at some, again, the first one I think the must-have for anyone. Now, this will be, if I type it up here. Sorry, I have my microphone in the way here. So we have, this will be called MSI Afterburner. Now, MSI Afterburner is not a program that I would say you only need if you have MSI. This is, again, compatible with all hardware. If you have a computer, you can download and run this. And this is excellent for, again, several reasons. So again, I'm going to show you here in a second. So as you can see here, we have dialogues here, right? So it's kind of like a clock here, but again, you can change the interface if you like. So however you want to change it, you can. So this is only what I believe Jason and a couple of these other YouTubers have used that really helped an overclock. So that's why I have this. But you can change the face of this to show a number of different stats and what works for you. Also, what I really like about this is, again, this really makes it easy for when it comes to temperatures, clock speeds. So for example, you have the clock speed, the core speeds, the memory speeds, and you can also see here you have like little dialogues here, right? Little dials. So again, they're very easy ways that, again, you can really monitor your again, these elements, as well, again, raise them, you can lower them, and again, you can truly customize your computer. Obviously, I wouldn't just kind of willy-nilly do this if you don't know what you're doing. Again, I just kind of copy some of these settings from other YouTubers that knew what they were talking about till I gradually learned how this kind of worked. But still, it's good to know that you have this amount of control over your computer. Also, something else here that I would say is really handy is this is, I think, a must-have for temps, right? So as you can see here, I'm just making sure I don't cover the camera, so I'm going to move this around here. Right, so as you can see here, this is, again, all the temps. And again, you'll probably notice when you have problems or computer problems, temperature is normally the first signal of a problem. That's normally the first signal, not in all cases, but most times it's a pretty good indication of it. So, again, as you have here, I have the kind of GPU usage. So again, this is really handy when it comes to kind of looking at how hard the graphics card's working, as well as your different cores here. So again, with the CPU, you have many cores, and from this here, again, you can look at the average speed that's going on here, or the average temperature. And yes, again, I think that this is an excellent tool when it comes to lots of this, because again, I can, if I do have some problems sometimes with, again, my graphics card or my let's say, for example, my computer's running a little slow, sometimes it has to do with the CPU. And again, if it's being too overheated, as we all know, again, you can't avoid the heated CPU, but there are moments where, again, you can control how much it is, or maybe if, again, your CPU is running too hot, maybe it's a time that, again, you bought maybe a better cooling system. So again, these are all good things that you could use. Now again, these are the factors I use, right? But you can also look at, again, the RAM usage, again, fans, temperature speeds, you name it, you got it. So again, it's all very customizable. So again, that's the first thing that I recommend. Now, let's kind of go with my second recommendation. So, in this, and I forgot to mention on that one, if you want to overclock, this is the best way that you'll do it. So with Afterburner, that will be your go-to when it comes to overclocking. Right, so with that said, we're gonna move right along here, and we're gonna now go with another one. I've recently used this, but again, something that lots of people have recommended, and I really do find this useful. And I used this the other day, when I was building my PC, or kind of more rebuilding the PC, I was able to can identify if everyone is working, if again all my GPU parts and all of my CPU parts, again everything was just working properly, right? So I have this to make sure that happens, as well as to kind of help me update my BIOS as well. So again, this is a very helpful tool. As you can see here, this has just an infinite amount of information. I don't think I can extend this anymore. But as you can see here, again, if let's say let's say there's a moment where you bought a used CPU, right, on eBay or something like that, and let's say the label's taken off, you don't know. Well, if you install on the CPU and you look at, again, CPUZ, well, you can easily find that, well, there it is. Again, it will always automatically kind of label them. It doesn't matter how anyone tries to trick you, to misguide you. This will always give you, again, for example, what is the name of your CPU, and for honestly, any part of the PC, you will know what it is. So again, it's a really great tool, especially by used parts, but just in general purposes. I used this the other day for my motherboard. I didn't know what BIOS I had because I lost track, and there it was. So again, it's really helpful, but again, you have so many other features with it. Again, you have, again, the cache, the memory, the speed, the graphics, again, what is expected of your card, benchmarks, if you want to kind of have that going on. And yeah, so again, just another really great tool that I recommend. It has, honestly, although I don't use it all the time, if I do ever need to know what kind of version my equipment is or what I have, this is normally my go-to. And with that, we're going to now look at some other parts here. So again, those are only things that I normally use, but I'll tell you, as you can see, I've been actually having a couple videos kind of related to troubleshooting. And I really found that these were some really key tools that I use for troubleshooting. Now, of course, there's others, and the more that I find problems, I will probably use different programs and probably learn, how to better improve my methods of fixing these problems. But these are some of the things that I kind of found that were quite helpful. So, in looking at our next one here, we have, I should have it here, I do. Great, so we have Task Manager, all right? So I know everyone is looking like, what are you talking about? This is just getting used for only one purpose, and one purpose only. To force quit applications, or if your programmer crashes and you're lucky to get over here, you can just simply, cancel it. But that's where I think that everyone's really mistaken. I actually took advantage of this the other day. I actually was realizing the potential of this. It is so much more. First of all, I like to say, when you really start realizing how programs work, you really start noticing things. For example, malware. If you want to ever catch malware, you'll find here, for example, normally, I forgot how it goes, but it'll use lots of memory. And you can, by simply using some of these stats that are located right here, you can find, or at least you can kind of show indications that it could be malware that's running on your computer. Not all the time, obviously, but again, it's a good indication that you can see something, oh, that's kind of weird. So by looking at these numbers, they're all kind of relative. But then if you ever find some numbers that are really wacky, really weird, you're like, whoa, what's going on there? Well, you can just look at that program, or what I do sometimes is, sometimes I find really fishy kind of programs and I Google it. And then it normally tells me, well, this is malware. This is just a typical program. It just has a really weird name. So again, very helpful there. Also, this is where I think something that I found out was very helpful. Now, again, performance. This is amazing. I'll tell you again, this is just something that I really also found really helpful. I was having some problems with kind of working with DaVinci, with the DaVinci Resolve kind of video editing software, if you didn't know. And I just was having really bad problems with it. I didn't know really what tool or what was going on with this. And this, by accident, helped me quite a bit. First of all, you have the CPU here, obviously. Again, I'm not doing anything too intensive, but again, this is excellent for, again, tracking, again, your gigahertz, your usage. This is all relative good information. If you want to know if, again, your CPU is not working, this is where you should go. Also, memory-wise, although this is not really too important, but again, it's good to know. Again, also if you want to see if your disk is working, again, or if you, let's say you wanted to know if you needed to upgrade something or upgrade to a different SSD that's better or not. Well, again, this can be helpful. Again, these are things that I don't use too often. This is also good for the internet. I didn't know this till, again, not too long ago since I started using this. And again, this really kind of tracks the memory, not your memory, the internet. And yeah, so I think, although there's better software obviously for this, again, nice free software that again you can easily pop up, and yeah, very simple to use. And the last part here, this is what I use for my GPU. Again, I was having some problems. I was like, why is this happening? It keeps crashing. And it was here that I was able to realize that this was going above 110%. And then of course it would crash. Now later on did I realize that the fans for some reason wasn't working on the bottom of the GPU. And that was because, well, I was a dumbass and had it, I clicked something and it wasn't turning on. So that was why. But this enlightened me or helped me find it. So yeah, again, also some things here. Really good with the CPU. If you know that a program is running 100%, 110% and it crashes, you'll find out here. This is where you'll find that. Or GPU. Games normally take a lot, but again, you'll find out through either this or this here. And again, you can even see the power usage as well. So again, just really neat information that you would never know. So yeah, there is that there. And we're gonna now move right along here to another one. Again, this kind of relates to another video that I made. So let's go with the first one here. So device manager. We're gonna do that one first. So again, we all had problems, right? We all have had encountered some problems where, let's say for example, your microphone, or let's say just any type of drivers, maybe it's your graphics card drivers are not working, or any type of drivers in general, your peripherals. Well, this is again an excellent tool to actually kind of sort that out. Now again, in my last video, I was kind of talking about, again, my microphone, how it wasn't working. So again, I was able to go here, and then I was kind of clicking here. For example, a Snowball, that's my microphone that I'm currently using. And then again, what's so powerful about this is, again, it's very simple. I wouldn't use it too much, but again, it's great if you have problems. The first thing to do is to update the drivers. And the only way to update the drivers, or I'll say the quickest way to update the drivers, is doing this. So again, you can just simply update here, you go here, and there you go, it's updated. Very simple, and again, half the time this is quite, normally this is quite the problem, but again, something I recommend. And then for our last thing here that I would say, again, very niche, although again, this does sometimes happen. We are going to look at now Disk Manager. Sorry, I know I look kind of weird here. Disk Manager. If I can spell Disk Manager. Yeah. Alright. So if we look at now Disk Manager, again, this is this is the application that you're going to basically using when it comes to memory storage. Now again, I would say that you won't use this too often, but if you ever found the case where you have a new SSD and you install it and it's just not working, it's not showing up, you look at your folder, it's not showing up there when it's installed, well, this is where Disk Manager, or not Disk Manager, Disk Management will be a great use to you. Because again, as you can see here, all mine are online. However, again, if you ever find, for example, why is my new SSD not working? Well, you'll find it here. This is gonna be great, and you're gonna find out, oh, well, that's why, because it's offline. And then you can realize, well, maybe if it's not showing up here, for example, like I had SSD that wasn't working, or a brand new one, and I saw that it wasn't working here, and I was able to kind of infer that, okay, well, if I plug it in, I didn't plug it in right. After 2 tries or 1 try, I found what was the problem, I plugged it in, and there you go. It kind of showed up here, and I was able to, again, click open and to format the disk drive. Again, you won't always need this, but it's always good to know. And also, if you're having memory problems, I would definitely say this is also a very great resource, because again, it shows you everything that you need. Other than that, that's all I can really recommend. Again, be very careful about this. Again, if you do delete anything from this, it's gone. So, Warning, do be careful if you do use this. But other than that, yeah, I think that'll wrap up our first list here of computer programs that we should all have. Okay, well, again, thank you everyone for making it to the very end of the video. So these are again some personal things that I found that were very helpful, but again, I'm sure that there's lots of other programs that I've not stumbled upon yet. And yeah, so again, if you are watching this video and you found that there's something I was missing, again, feel free to drop down in the comments below. Again, I'd like to really see what's everyone else using, or again, what are some of everyone else's favorite types of to-go programs to look at. So with that, again, we're gonna wrap this up here. Well, I hope that everyone really liked. If you really did like this video, you found this helpful, do consider subscribing and also smashing that like. I greatly appreciate it. And also, again, if you like other tech like this, other other PC tips, let's plays, product reviews, and other cool tech videos, well, that's what I normally cover. So again, I definitely always post weekly, normally weekly. So again, there's always good things to check out on the channel. Take care, everyone. Peace, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care, everyone.